Well, exactly 9 p.m. East African time. Glad you could join us right here on TV47 tonight, or News Tonight. My name is Linda Alela, and I'll be taking you through the news stories of the day. It's always a pleasure to do this with you. And as we kickstart, it is always important that we also remind you of what we are setting for you this evening. We'll be taking a look at an interview that I pre-recorded later on in regards to Martha's suicide. One thing that has been looked at as a shadow pandemic at this time of COVID-19, and I'll be hosting psychologists who will take us through, and their argument is that it is important that we take preventive measures at this particular time when the world continues to deal with COVID-19, and equally they call upon people who have hit rock bottom to speak out, and of course they argue that prevention is necessary at this particular time and must be prioritized. So welcome aboard. We have so much lined up for you, but first let's take a look at what is on the headlines. Health workers' strike continue to bite harder, but the government is opting to employ new workers if those on strike will not resume to work.
We have no choice. We have no choice but to try and get somebody into that place as soon as possible.
National Assembly approves the reversal of VAT from 14% to 16% and corporate and income tax from 25% to 30% effective January next year. And Othaya Girls School Principal Jen Kimiti has been crowned the winner of 2020 African Union Continental Teacher of the Year Award.
I see myself as that small split.
Welcome back and interact with us tonight. The hashtag is TV47 News Tonight at Linda_Alela TV47KE. We'll be glad to sample some of your comments as we proceed with the broadcast. Importantly, it is good to have you join us. My name is Linda Alela. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Anne Wairimu. So TV47 News Tonight begins right now. Now, the government is ready to replace the striking health workers should they fail to resume work. Health CS Mutahi Kagwe has criticized the strike, saying that Kenyan health workers are the only ones in the world on strike during the pandemic. Zainab Mohammed with the details.
In a continuing battle between health workers and the government, Health CS Mutahi Kagwe has announced that the government is ready to replace the striking health workers should they refuse to go back to work.
We cannot allow patients to be abandoned. We cannot, as a government, abandon sick Kenyans. We cannot do that. Therefore, there are only two positions or two things that can happen. One is that hopefully, given the discussions that we have been having, the workers, the ones who are striking, get back to work. Who do not turn up for work, we have no choice. We have no choice but to try and get somebody into that place as soon as possible.
Kagwe insisting that some of the demands by health workers are unattainable.
The health workers who are on strike to report back to work. As conciliation efforts between union officials, Council of Governors, and national governments continue. Most of the demands have been met, but please do not think that it is possible to meet everything that you ask for. And it appears, therefore, when you demand for something, and then you shift the goalposts, when that one has been provided, it appears that the intention is to go on strike anyway, irrespective of what comes up, irrespective of what we are able to do.
Kagwe further ridiculed the Kenyan health workers as the only ones in the world on strike during a pandemic, the CS pleading with them to get back to work for the sake of Wanjiku.
Kuna pahali pengine dunia nzima jameni, hakuna nchi hata moja dunia nzima ambayo kwa wakati huu wafanyikazi wa afya wamegoma.
In some of the government's efforts to resolve the strike, the government has directed NHIF management to expedite the declaration and contracting process for an additional 348 facilities to ensure they are available to offer services to NHIF beneficiaries in January 2021.
The Ministry of Health has written to the Council of Governors requesting the county governments in liaison with the County Department of Social Protection to identify the poor and vulnerable households for enlisting progressively to the UHC scheme as beneficiaries. This will ensure that, that most vulnerable groups are cushioned appropriately, as with an NHIF card, they can access services in thousands of private facilities.
Zainab Mohammed, TV47.
Thanks, Zainab, for that. Now, still on health matters, patients in various parts of the country have continued to suffer following the industrial action by health workers who are on nationwide strike. In Kisumu, Governor Anyang' Nyong'o has warned the striking health workers that they risk being fired if they don't resume work by Saturday. Joanne Maina takes a look at the effects of the strike in various parts of the country.
Health services have been paralyzed in public hospitals as nurses and clinical officers' strike hits the third week. Spot checks at different public hospitals show the devastating states as patients seeking treatment continue to suffer. Kisumu Governor Anyang' Nyong'o has warned the striking doctors in the county to resume to work by Saturday.
Uliapa wewe kama daktari ya kwamba nitahudumia Wakenya wote bila ukabila wala ubaguzi wala solidarity. Lakini leo ukianza kusema ya kwamba uko katika mgomo kwa sababu ya solidarity, that is not very honest. So me, I say, if after Saturday you are still in solidarity, then I'm also going to be in solidarity in another way.
The health ministry had instructed the county governments to axe down the striking health workers. In Uasin Gishu County, health services were paralyzed after the striking nurses and clinical officers took to the streets of Eldoret to demonstrate, demanding the county government to meet their grievances.
We decided to down our tools together with the entire country, the clinical officers fraternity, countrywide, that we have other grievances also which can be addressed at the national level, but for now that's not our case. We just need promotions in this county after they promised us promotions which did not materialize in 2019.
Nurses and clinical officers in Kiambu County have also vowed to join their colleagues in strike. This comes after Kiambu Governor instructed health workers working on contracts under the county government to continue working and providing their services.
And we are aware that SRC is still causing some impediments. So we are saying that social dialogue, which is a pillar of labor principles, should and can be employed and have workers and the employer, we sit down so that we come to an amicable solution and we serve the nation.
In Murang'a County, nurses and clinical officers have joined others from different counties to down their tools and demand for better treatment from the devolved administration.
Services will stop in this county. Hello, members? Yay! Solidarity! Yay! So, services, we are going to stop all the services and we are joining our colleagues because we can't work like this. We can't work like this.
This is our 6th week on strike as Mombasa County, and as you know, we have also the national strike, which is now going in its almost 3rd week. So we are having 2 strikes in Mombasa County, one at the county level and one at the national level. For the county level, we are having issues on remuneration, that is delayed salaries, and the other issue is the non-remittance of the statutory deductions and third parties deductions. This includes the NHIF, include the loans that are being deducted from the salaries. They have not been remitted on time. And as a result, our members have been suffering financial implications due to the delayed remittances.
The nationwide strike has continued devastating Kenyans seeking for healthcare services. Joanne Maina, TV47.
Again, thanks, Joanne. Now, the government will announce whether to issue travel restriction to travelers from UK in 2 days following the second COVID-19 strain in the United Kingdom. LCS Mutahi Kagwe says a committee has been formed to advise the government on measures to be taken. South Africa has also found a new strain on coronavirus, which has resulted in a surge of cases, prompting a second wave.
There is nothing that is not on the table. As you know, various actors are involved in discussing and observing global trends across the world. So far, we have not taken the measures, but we are in discussion. We are in discussion looking at what is happening across the world. As you know, the British government itself has limited travel by its own citizens, so that people leaving the UK would have to be on necessity, not just traveling on tourism or anything of the sort. We have taken that into consideration as we make our own arrangements and consider what further measures to take. And probably in the next 48 hours or so, we will be making further announcements.
And on a somber mood, the late Machakos Senator Boniface Kabaka has been laid to rest at his home in Mikuyu Village, Masinga Sub-County, Machakos County, in a send-off ceremony attended by various national leaders. This as Sonko impeachment politics took center stage in the burial of the first-time senator who succumbed to stroke while receiving intensive care unit treatment at Nairobi Hospital on the 11th of December. David Muthuka reports.
It was the final journey of the late Machakos Senator Boniface Mutinda Kabaka at his home in Mikuyu Village, Masinga Sub-County, Machakos County. Family, friends and leaders, among them Deputy President William Ruto, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua, and former Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko attending the burial to pay their last respects to the first-time senator.
That is the man. Huyu mungwana huyu anaitwa Kabaka. Alisimama kama Mkenya.
A wonderful team of leaders, young leaders, vigorous in their belief in the mandate that is given to them.
One speaker after another eulogized Kabaka as an astute lawmaker, a straight shooter and a defender of devolution.
Politicians come here and they take us back to tribe. Tribe E, tribe Ile, tribe E, Nanini. If the politics we are promoting are politics of tribe, we are doomed.
Fellow senators also described Kabaka as a leader who always reminded his colleagues about the history of the country and the importance of safeguarding constitutional gains and putting the government on check.
So because of Senator Kabaka and another 5 ambao walikuwa wanaongezewa na wakasimama wima, Senate iliweza kufanya jambo ambalo ingechukua miaka 10 Senate kufanya, to move from 316 billion to 370 billion.
Sonko impeachment intrigues will also come into play, with various leaders accusing the government of throwing its own people under the bus following Thursday's Sonko ouster by Senate as Nairobi governor. City Hall Speaker Benson Mutura has since replaced Sonko in an acting capacity.
Ile imeingia kwa Sonko haikuanza na Sonko, ilianza na kutoa mimi. James Orengo one day told me in the Senate and told us in the Senate kwamba the government, it's its own people. But what James Orengo hakusema akumaliza, this government is eating its own Jubilee members and finishing its own Jubilee members, including Sonko, but the person who is carrying the knife is James Orengo.
Mimi nilisimama na Sonko kwa sababu Wamasai wetu walifukuzwa katika Embakasi na Sonko akarudishia hiyo shamba. Ilikuwa ni aibu sana mimi kama singesimama na yeye.
Sonko himself, seemingly resigned to fate, has however vowed to bounce back despite the impeachment.
Waiguru ile makosa alifanya mulimsamea. Mimi kwa sababu ni defend na kuprotect constitution, mmenipeleka nyumbani. Hata mmepigiwa simu, order from above, order from above. Mwenyezi Mungu atawasamea kama mlinidhulumu. But kama mmepatikana na hatia, basi Mimi nimekubali.
Kabaka passed away on 11th December after succumbing to stroke while receiving treatment in the intensive care unit at Nairobi Hospital. The second Machakos senator had been in ICU for 7 days after he collapsed in an apartment in Nairobi's Kilimani estate. David Muthoka, TV47.
May his soul rest in eternal peace. And the country has recorded more than 3,000 deaths as a result of road accidents this year. The Inspector General of Police, Hilary Mutyambai, warning motorists against violating traffic rules this festive season. This even as the government forms a multi-agency team, including the Kenya Police, Prison Service, as well as the National Transport and Safety Authority, NTSA, to enforce traffic rules as Kenyans celebrate Christmas.
Kenya has recorded a total of 3,663 deaths as a result of road accidents this year, an increase of 9.6% compared to last year. This is according to Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutyambai, who has unveiled a raft of measures to reduce road carnages this festive season.
Despite these interventions, road traffic crashes are on the upward trend. Current statistics indicate that as December 13 of this year, 2020, a total of 3,663 persons have lost their lives due to road traffic crashes. This shows an increase by 9.4% compared to a similar period last year.
Also, we have noted lack of courtesy of all road users currently at the moment, and that is why you have seen a significant increment of pedestrian accidents and incidents that are occurring.
The government forming a multi-agency team that brings together the Kenya Police and Prison Service, as well as the National Transport and Safety Authority (NTSA), who will patrol major roads in the country to enforce traffic rules.
On its part, the government will continue with the nationwide law enforcement operations, increase highway and air patrol to ensure adherence to traffic rules.
We have been working on a multi-agency approach with the National Police Service to try and support all the efforts in regards to the implementation of the Traffic Act. This has included us having a multi-agency approach countrywide that started on the 1st of December and will continue into the early parts of January to ensure that all road users are safely brought home as they travel throughout the country.
This arrangement is executed through multi-agency management of national security.
Mutyambai has also discouraged motorists against carrying excess passengers, further warning that the licenses of SACCOs whose drivers are found violating traffic rules will be suspended.
Any overloading of passengers will not be entertained and will take serious action. We have agreed with DG NTSA, any vehicle PSV violating the traffic laws and regulations, this will result to entire company of the bus operators operational license cancelled.
Tunataka kuhamasisha Wakenya msimu huu, kwanza msimu huu wa sherehe za Krismasi na mwaka mpya, ya kwamba muwe waangalifu. Tuwe waangalifu kwa barabara hii, ni barabara ambayo iko very busy. Mwaka huu tulipata janga la corona, hatutaki kupoteza watu wetu tena.
The multi-agency team will monitor the speed of vehicles, do driver checks and verify the validity of driving licenses. They will also be on the lookout for route compliance and conduct both short-term and night travel license checks. Musa Salah, TV47, Nairobi.
Good story. Othaya Girls Principal Jane Kimiti has been crowned the winner of 2020 African Union Continental Teacher of the Year Award. Speaking after receiving the news, Kimiti said that her achievement has proved that the continent can have quality education through continental partnership.
Othaya Girls Principal Jane Kimiti has been crowned the winner of 2020 African Union Continental Teacher of the Year Award. Kimiti has been recognized for engaging in quality teaching, which results in high standards of student achievement, and encouraging desirable behavior among students through positive feedback and other programs.
We had the community-based learning, where Othaya Girls was the team of teachers who are very cooperative. We collaborated with the area chiefs, and we were able to prepare work and give to the learners in the community, irrespective of the schools they came from. We were able to keep them busy, to actually guide them even and protect them from early teenage pregnancies and probably losing out on school due to lack of interaction with a teacher.
She has also been recognized for engaging in activities and networks that enhance the social and cultural value of learning and helping students achieve their long-term career goals by organizing engagement with relevant agencies and information. Speaking after reviewing news of her, Kimiti said that her achievement has proved that the continent can have quality education through continental partnership.
I'm also passionate about the needy and supporting the widows, those who are less fortunate in the community. For instance, I empower local women in leadership, also guiding them on table banking, house and home management, and we have become better in the community, and this is through education. Once a teacher in school, you're also a teacher in the community.
One of her presentations that made a mark in her win was a program that she developed named Classes Without Borders, which was also appreciated in South Africa. The program involves students from 7 schools in Othaya, where the school is situated. The students were able to learn through Zoom, a move which helped many during COVID-19.
I go to Suguta Marma, to the Mary Immaculate Rescue Center, where we are able to partner with the girls who have been unfortunate to drop out of the school or to go through FGM and early marriages, where we rescue them. We put them in the Mary Immaculate Rescue Center. We have trained them about cleanliness, hygiene. I trained them also about farming, because in those pastoralist communities, I think they are not well acquainted on farming of vegetables.
African Union Continental Teacher of the Year Award was inaugurated last year in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, with the name of demonstrating respect for teachers and the teaching profession by celebrating committed teachers of Africa.
Well, in one of 2020's biggest surgery in the country, 6-year-old Benevolence, a teacher, got his arm reattached after being completely cut off by a chef cutter. Now, after covering the operation at Kenyatta National Hospital on October the 21st, TV47 Zainab Mohammed visited the young boy in his home in Githunguri, Kiambu County, and now tells a story of a miracle year for the family that thought it had lost it all.
Six-year-old Benevolence teacher tells us he wants to be a doctor when he grows up. TV47 first met Benevolence on October the 21st at the Kenyatta National Hospital, where he had undergone a 10-hour arm surgery after almost losing his arm to a chaff cutter incident.
Sasa babake kwenda kuchukua majani nyingine akuja aweke asiage, hapo ndipo mtoto alisugusha machine, sasa ikaweza kumkata. Although yeye anasemaga ni kuachilia, aliachilia hiyo chuma mtu anatumia kusugusha. Sasa akirudisha mkono aishike, mkono ikaingia kabisa. Sasa ndiposa hizo braids zilikuja kama zimemkata.
Contrary to the weak-looking young boy, a month and a half later, Benevolence has recovered, with his arm slowly regaining sensory feelings as days go by.
The palm is okay. If you pinch him, the palm is going to feel pain. The fingers are yet, but that's good progress, given that by the time we were being discharged, sensation was around maybe an inch from the wrist.
But his parents say it has not been an easy journey. The once very active young boy had to be slowed down by his injuries, but as his mother narrates, not for long.
After around 4 weeks, alikuwa sasa hahisi uchungu, anaweza hata tembea huko, fanya tu mambo ya mtoto, sababu he's an active boy. Kwa hivyo hata alikuwa ananiambia, hapana mama, hutanifanyia hivi, wakati mwingine ananiambia pengine amejichafua, hutanifalisha, acha nijifalishe. Akienda choo, kuna hiyo kufresh, pengine hapo hakuna maji, unakuta anakuambia, hapana mama, nitajimwagia hiyo maji. Yani hakuwa na hisi ile uchungu naweza sema unaogopa ama uko na machozi.
Benevolence now can do most of his chores on his own and is not left out when the rest of the kids are playing. Just like many people across the country, 2020 has not been an easy year for the young family of 4. However, Tony and his wife say 2020 shall always remain deeply marked in their memories as the year they lived to witness a true miracle happen.
2020 imekuwa gumu in one way or another, but after all nitakumbuka vile Mungu alitendea mtoto wetu, kwa sababu hatukuwa na tumaini vile ati mkono huo utaweza kurudi after that accident. Lakini so far tunaweza sema hata kama mwaka ulikuwa mgumu na ni mwaka wa corona, that Mungu amekuwa tu mwaminifu kwa watu wake.
Zainab Mohamed, TV47.